What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman for Awesemo.com, and I am back with my NBA DFS contenders on FanDuel for Friday, May 21st. Now be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when this and all of our other content goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman so you can get updates to these sim results as we get closer to lock. And finally, let me know in the comments section who is your favorite and least favorite of my contenders for today's slate. We are rounding out the bottom of my top 10 with Dylan Brooks, Kevon Looney, Kyle Anderson, Jordan Poole, and Draymond Green on the outside looking in. Who will be my favorites? My top 5 plays for today? It's time to find out. First up at number 5, we've got Jonas Valanciunas. He's 14,500. He's got a 15% chance of showing up in the MVP spot, a 24% chance of being in the star, and an 8% chance of being in the pro. That's basically a 50-50 chance of being in the optimal lineup. We saw him play big minutes in the first game of the play-in, and I expect that to happen again. I gave him 34 minutes, somewhere around 1.25 fantasy points per minute, about 42 fantasy points. We're talking 21% usage and a just baseline projection of 18 and 14. This guy should put up a monstrous double-double by default, even get 2 assists, maybe even 2 stocks. It is a great matchup for Memphis, pace up in that, but it is kind of difficult from a defensive standpoint. Joe Val is going to have his way with Kevon Looney, and if they take Looney off the floor, Joe Val's really going to beast, so I'm anxious to see it. The problem is, not going to be the best work in the pick and roll on the defensive end, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. We only have to worry about offense right here, and for right now, Joe Val is number 5. Next up at number 4, we're going to $10,500 JAREN Jackson Jr. Now, I don't really think you're going to see him in the MVP spot. He's got about a 3% chance of being the optimal in the star, 10% in pro, but you're going to want him in utility. 36% chance of being in the optimal lineup there, 49% overall. He's going to play about 30 minutes. Foul trouble is just going to sort of cap him no matter what. 1.06 fantasy points per minute, around 32 fantasy points for this game. Now, he will shoot the ball. You're going to need a heater here. 16 points, 6 boards, and then a little bit of everything. An assist and a half, a steal, almost 2 blocks. So we're talking about 3 stocks. That's what's going to drive your performance on FanDuel. You're going to need JAREN Jackson to be active on the defensive end and successful. Because when he's active on the defensive end and he's not successful, it probably means he plays 20 minutes. But if he can play 30 or 32 minutes, I'm going to assume he's got a steal or 2. I'm going to assume he's got 2 or 3 blocks. And then if the shot is falling, JAREN Jackson can have a really big day. Next up at number 3, we're going to $12,500 Ja Morant, and this is a guy that you could actually put anywhere. It's a very interesting game for the FanDuel single game contest. 9% chance at MVP, 17% at star, 17% at pro, and 9% at utility. It's just perfectly set up for Morant to go anywhere. You can fit him in all of the different places. 52% chance of being in the optimal. He's going to play 38 minutes so long as this game is competitive, just slightly north of a fantasy point per minute. He's going to be the guy that dominates the ball. We're talking 20 and a half points, 8 assists, 5 boards, maybe a steal. It's going to be a fun one. I'm not expecting big things out of Memphis. Golden State's just got too much, look, Steph, Dre, they've been here before. They've seen these kind of games. So I'm a little nervous for Memphis. But at the same time, Ja Morant has the opportunity to have a monster day. But you see, the fact that he can be pretty likely to be in the MVP and just as much in the utility, plus a 50-50 shot that he's not useful at all, he's got the biggest error bars on the slate for me. You can put him anywhere and make a really good lineup, and I'm not really confident he's best anywhere, which is kind of crazy. But in the aggregate, he's in the optimal lineup more than all but 2 guys on this slate. Now at number 2, we're going to $11,500 Andrew Wiggins with a 4% chance of being in the MVP spot, 14% at star, 24% at pro, and 18% at utility. That's 60% chance for being in the optimal lineup somewhere for Wiggins. Now he's playing a ton of minutes. He's really become a different player for Golden State, which is really nice to see. Just shy of a fantasy point per minute in 38 minutes, about 36 fantasy points. We're talking 24% usage, 22 points, 5 boards, 2 assists, a steal, and a block. Another guy that's going to do a little bit of everything. And I do think this matchup against the Grizzlies fits him a little bit better. I really do. More than anything, though, 11.5, to me, he just feels, I don't know, maybe $500 too cheap. Maybe he should be 12.5. 12 to 12.5 seems a little bit more reasonable because I think that we're going to get to Wiggins quite a bit. I expect him to be incredibly popular. Now, before we get to the very obvious number one contender, one last reminder, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Then head on over to Twitter and follow me at Josh Engleman. It's the only place you're going to get updates to the sim results as we get closer to lock. And finally, in the comment section underneath this video, I want to know your favorite contender, your least favorite contender, and the contender that you thought should have been on this list that you do not see. As if there was any doubt here, 15K Steph Curry is the number one contender. He shows up in the MVP spot 66% of the time. Yes, 2/3 of the time, Steph is just the optimal MVP. That's how this game works. He's on a completely different tier. 15% chance of being in the star, 4% in the pro, and just 1% chance of being in the utility. 86% of the time, Steph Curry will be in the optimal lineup. I gave him 38 minutes. If this happens to be competitive, he can certainly go 40. 1.36 fantasy points per minute. That's 52 fantasy points right out of the gate. 38% usage and 37 real points. Plus 6 boards, plus 5 assists, and a steal. It is a slight pace up spot against Memphis. Look, Steph is going to do literally everything to put them into the playoffs. He controls all of it. I don't know what else to say. He's Steph Curry. You guys know he's the best player on the slate. I know he's the best player on the slate. I'm just wasting my time and your time by continuing to talk about him. Just play Steph Curry. Mostly play him in MVP. If you want to get different, play him in the star. And print some money because Steph is the number one contender for today's slate. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. Those are my NBA DFS contenders on FanDuel for Friday, May 21st. No process show today because it's only a single game, but I will be on the strategy show with Lofty at 10 a.m. and there's a DraftKings version of this video around here somewhere. No live before lock for me either, so I'm done for the day after that strategy show. But keep your eyes peeled. I will be on the deeper dive on Saturday afternoon, pulling a random Saturday shift for once. So come check that out. Good luck tonight, everybody. Have an excellent weekend. I will talk to you guys again on Monday for another edition of the Contenders.